MiWayJourneys. Today we're going to do some planning to go to another set of national parks. This time I was looking to go to Yosemite and Sequoia National Park. As you can see from my visual here, that it ended up being a lot more than just Yosemite and Sequoia. I added in Alcatraz and then King Canyon National Park, which is kind of adjoined or north of where I started in Sequoia National Park. But let's get into the planning here. So, welcome to the site. Small disclaimer: for any of the services, products, tools, I'm not paid by anybody. And here's my statement and my disclaimer is that these products or services all worked for me in the course of this trip in my planning, and I would use them all again in the course of my planning and travel if I needed to. In these, wherever I may end up going, I may use some or all of these along the way. So, as we've done in the past, and if you're new to the site, building on an idea. As I'm looking at my travel, where am I going? What's the destination? What's around it? How much time do I have for this trip? Is it one day? Is it a week? Is it more? What do you want to see in this trip? Maybe you've got one thing you want to see. Maybe there's a couple things. And then to help you, are there any organizers? Is there a tour group or maybe some step-on tours or something you can do to get the most out of your trip and use local guides? Book any transport accommodations that you may want to use in the course of this trip. And then, get out there and start your adventure. So my destination is I had planned on, looking at all of these sources. So TripAdvisor and looking at Get Your Guide or Viator with locals. If you've not used any of these services, they're definitely worth taking a look to, if anything, give you some ideas about what to see and where to go, and maybe the timing of maybe time out of the park, in the park, based on something you say like, oh, hey, that may be interesting. Watch some YouTubes, Instagram, Expedia, always helpful. Whatever search engine you're using, get out there. And of course, if you're really interested in it, there's always some travel books that you can use, whether it be Eyewitness, Lonely Planet, Rick Steves, any number of travel books that are out there to help you get the most out of your trip. As you remember, I used Lonely Planet when I did the Iceland Ring Road, and of course, there are others that you can use. In this case, I did, look at both national park sites to check on any limitations, restrictions, and any ideas that they may offer in this trip. In this trip, I had, as I was doing the planning, I decided to fly into San Francisco, spend a day, and then travel out toward where I needed to be. And again, I did rent another Airbnb in this adventure for these two main parks that I would be going to. Let's go in here. As you know, I do like Wonderlog, so I did all my research. I plotted my points and kind of helped me determine how many days, what would my days look like as I was planning, to know times of opening, fees to get in any place, or time that it was recommended to go during a certain time. So Wonderlog is a wonderful tool for me, and I use it and have used it for years. On this trip, I did use With Locals, which is a nice service they provide in most major cities. You'll find it With Locals tours. What's nice is you can find an array of things, from whether cooking a dinner, going on a food tour, going on sightseeing, but you get the guide. So the first part of it is you pick the guide, the tour you want to do, and then you have your choice of guides that you want to use. So you can kind of like a little tour guide interview or introduction. Now you watch the videos and you pick the person that you want to use during that particular tour, and then you match your tour to the guide, and then you book your time, and they will show their availability to be able to assist you with your trip. So we did use With Locals on this trip. The decisions I went with is I decided to go during the summer months. This was an 8-day travel. I did have a small group of five I was working for, so I needed an SUV or a vehicle that would be sized to make everybody comfortable during this trip and not be packed in. You do have the national park fee. If you're doing multiple parks in a year, it's great. It's just $80, and the pass is good for a year. You can get in there. You can get other versions of passes based on being a senior, or if you're military or retired or veteran. There's some different passes and costs. But for just a normal family, two-person, the $80 annual pass is it's a great option. With locals, I did select a food tour in the Mission District that was, yeah, don't eat before you go. That's all I could say when you do go on that food tour. There had a great guide during that time. Some trade-offs. Spending 2 nights in San Francisco, and I added in Alcatraz in the food tour. So, I took the extra time and the extra day to do those two parks, do the park and the food tour, and see a little bit of the city there in San Francisco. My cautions, high park visitations during the summer months. There was the potential of California wildfires, and there was one in the distance. It was nowhere near where we were, but there was some building smoke over the course of the day that we did come up. When we get into the video of the actual trip, you may see some of the photos, and they look a little smoky, and that's what you're seeing there. But it was no risk, and it wasn't a diversion from going to the parks. And then higher fuel prices. There in California, you're going to deal with a little bit higher fuel prices than in other parts of the country. Uh, from the map that I showed earlier, this is how it kind of broke down. Is we arrived in San Francisco, we stayed at a city hotel. Then we used Ubers to get around the city when we needed to move further distances. Otherwise, we walked around to most places. We did the Alcatraz National Park. Recommendation here, I'll talk about in the post travel, but get your tickets in advance online before you go down to the port or down to the pier to actually get on the boat. That way you know what line to get in, and what time to go. Then on day 3, we transferred out to Tulum. We had an Airbnb, perfect place to be, gave us good access to the surrounding area, and a fairly reasonable commute over to Yosemite National Park, which you can see here we did on day 4. This wasn't a large hiking. I was very interested in seeing the sights at Yellowstone, but we did a little bit of trekking while we were there in the park. But it was really about visiting, and we, parked, and we went around using the park's loop buses. Very helpful for while we were there. We took a day off in there in Tulum, and we did some hiking outside of the park in the West Side trails there in Tulum. Then the next day we took a little bit of a longer drive, and we went down to Sequoia, and Sequoia was the destination. And as we got going through the park, we just kind of kept going, and the next thing you know, we had driven into Kings Canyon, which gave us the opportunity to see two different stands of the Sequoia trees in itself. So both had great views. They were doing a lot of cleanup at the time. When we did do the trip, they were doing a lot of cleanup to prevent forest fires for in the future. But it did allow us to get in there. But you'll see that when we go into the actual trip, and you'll see some of the pictures that we did there. After Sequoia and Kings Canyon, we took another day of rest. We kind of stayed around. We went locally to some some wine tasting shops that were near us. Met some great people, had some great food while we were out and about. And then finally was a travel day back from California back to the East Coast. So in all, that's what we had planned. And in the next video, you'll see this is what we did. And so you'll see some of the footage and recommendations from these parks and places that we visited. Just some highlights. So we did go to Alcatraz, and here are some pieces. Book your ride to the island via the water ferry, which is nice because you get the cityscape while on the boat. Great view of the Golden Gate Bridge, and then the old prison facility, self-guided with a speakerphone. You hold it up and you listen to it, the different points you're at. So Alcatraz was great. Yellowstone, some high points for me to see was, of course, Bridal Veil Falls, El Capitan, and then Sentinel Dome hike. We did go up there. That's a reasonable hike, up, easy to do. We did go over to the Curry Village. We parked and then we got on and used the buses to go around there. And then we, kind of really gravitated around the Lodge. I think I probably butchered that, but we did kind of gravitate around there and use the buses. In our Sequoia National Park, we went in through the Hammond Gate entrance. We got to see and we wanted to visit the General Sherman Sequoia tree, the Amphitheater Point, and the Lost Grove, Sequoia Grove. So we spent quite a bit of time walking and just trekking in around parts of the park there in Sequoia. Could have spent more time. It was very smoky in the day we went, but this is what we planned to see while we were there. The add-on here, as I mentioned, was King Canyon, where we got to see the General Grant Sequoia, the largest of the sequoias, the Redwood Overlook, and the Kings Canyon Visitors Center. These were points. It made for a very long day, by adding in Kings Canyon to Sequoia. But we just didn't have the duration of time. But these were the highlights that we wanted to see in each of these, and that's how that kind of panned out, being able to see that. As I've mentioned in other videos, and for your first time here, I do use a tool. It's on my phone. It's called Track My Tour. It's free for some uses, and I use a paid subscription to it myself. And I communicate with people that aren't able to be there with us, and people back home, and they can see what I'm seeing and can conversate and kind of share my adventure while I'm out. And then it has an in-app where you can comment and chat within the app, and you can get that at Track My Tour. Is the tool that I use to do that. And what's nice about that, as I say in the ideation, plan the trip, do the trip, and then relive the trip. And in the end, with Track My Tour, you're able to print out a book, and it has maps and all of the comments and pictures and things that you did in the app for that trip. So very helpful tool overall. My travel notes for this, before seeing the video of the trip. Travel was extremely easy. We did add Alcatraz. It was very easy to use. It was busy on the day we were there, but it was about getting there early and leaving on cue prior to all of the masses of people coming in. But buy your tickets online before you leave, before you go down to the pier to get on. It'll be much quicker and get you in the right line. There's kind of two lines to get in when you're there. Plan out of park time, taking the local food and wineries on this particular trip. Look for some hiking trails that are nearby. You'll certainly enjoy those. Noteworthy, points is the distance between Yosemite and Sequoia was a bit of a drive, but it all worked out. And again, making sure you have gas before you get into the park, and that way you're not concerned about that. Buying those travel snacks certainly is a bonus, and then packing a picnic lunch. That way we can stop where we want to stop at a really picturesque spot. We could just stop and have our lunch there. If you found some points that helped you for your planning to go to Yosemite or Sequoia or Kings Canyon or even Alcatraz as a day trip, watch my next YouTube, which will be the actual visit to the park in itself, of either some history or some information about those points to help you further build on your journey to Yosemite or Sequoia National Park. As always, please like or subscribe, add comments below, or provide questions. Always looking to find ways to improve what I'm doing from video to video. So thank you very much for your video, and have a great day.